The fact that you are surrounded by villains is just confirmation that you're a hero. Welcome to Thank God It's Monday. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs. Joining me is Ted Fells, and we are the Digital Dudes. And today I want to talk to you from the idea your adversary is necessary. Your adversary is necessary. So, Ted, I was watching one of my favorite movies of all time, the original Matrix. Matrix Part 1. That's like one of my favorite movies of all time. You know the Matrix. You have Keanu Reeves plays the hero Neo, and then you have Lawrence Fishburne is playing the character Morpheus. Morpheus is like his guide and guru throughout the picture. And Morpheus is trying to convince him throughout the movie that Neo, is the chosen one. He's the one that's going to take everybody to the promised land. He's the one that's going to take everybody to that next level. And Neo is plagued with doubt. And he really, for the most of the movie, isn't totally sold on the idea of him having this level of potential. And Neo had this big problem. The big problem was his adversary, Agent Smith. You remember Agent Smith? He wore the suits and he had the shades. It just seemed like throughout the picture, Agent Smith was just a little better, right? He was just a little bigger, a little faster, a little stronger, a little smarter, was always getting the better of him in most of the battle. This was a big problem. But then, as I'm watching, something came to mind that I wanted to share with you today, because this has everything to do with you. So, Agent Smith, the adversary, he was necessary for Neo, right? He was necessary for Neo to achieve his potential. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, We Can't Be Friends. That's a whole other topic. But go back and watch. No, seriously, go back and watch the movie. But think about it. If you saw the movie, Neo didn't realize that he could stop bullets just by holding his hand up until he had that tangle with Agent Smith. Neo didn't realize that he could fly high like a bird in the sky until he started having that tangle with Agent Smith. He wasn't truly sold on the idea that he was the one until he had this encounter with his adversary. His adversary was necessary for him to achieve his potential. Now, what in the world does this have to do with you? This has everything to do with you, because your adversary is necessary for you to achieve your potential. Now, your adversary may not be wearing glasses and have a black suit on, or he or she may, you never know, but your adversary could be in the form of that customer that's just never happy, that's just giving you 1-star reviews, but they keep coming back to you, but they're just like a thorn in your side. But they're like that adversary. It could be that business partner, he or she. They're just always, they're doing the opposite of what you're communicating to the rest of the team. And they're not on the same page. And no matter what you do, it just seems like they just never get on the page with you. You know, it could be, if you're in a work environment, it could be that supervisor or coworkers who they just don't like you and they have it in for you. And they're setting traps and obstacles for you and denying you opportunities. And you think of it as a bad thing and you start dreading coming in. But in reality, your adversary is necessary because they force you to find resources and skills that you didn't realize that you had. And you would have never realized that you had these resources if it wasn't for your adversary. And again, the key point to take away is this: the fact that you're surrounded by villains, it only confirms that you're the hero. And that's why you can say, thank God it's Monday. My adversary is necessary. They're going to force me to dig deep and go to that next level because I am the chosen one. Ted, what are your thoughts?
Man, I could do without that adversary. I can do without that adversary. I want to just come in and I just want things to go a certain way, and I ain't got to be thinking about an adversary. But I do understand what you're saying, though, and I do think that anything that requires you to think, anything that requires you to innovate, to work emotional intelligence, because sometimes that adversary make you want to, you know, kind of deal with them a certain way. So anything that helps you to do those things, I mean, I think it makes you. I think it does help. I think it does push you a different way, and it also really makes you appreciate when it's not an adversary even more, right? It makes you appreciate it a lot more. If you're able to get that adversary to change and to be on the same page with you, I mean, that takes a real skill, because that can happen at times.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, yeah, how it's not all about, all situations about, what people do or how they treat you. It's how you react, how you respond. Right. So, yeah, so I can see how that can, you know, just to help you and help you in different aspects, because I think there's situations where we've all had these adversarial type scenarios, and then you learn from each of those. So as you go in your career to your next job or your next client, I mean, there's so many things that you learn, and then over the years you look at some of the things that you're doing, and I'm doing this because of this situation I had with this client, or what I had with this employee or coworker or business associate or partner. So yeah, I think it's, I mean, you say it's necessary. I'm like, I think it'd be helpful. I don't know, sometimes coming in, when you don't have it, again, you can appreciate it. But yeah, I think anything you can take as a learning experience and opportunity to make yourself better.
Yeah, that's interesting. I remember I had a mentor. I have a background in automotive service, and sometimes I would just
Yeah,
have that customer who they were just like impossible to please. I'm like, and I'll tell
sure.
my man, I'm doing everything right. What? And he said to me, and I never forgot this, and this applies. Sometimes you have that one who makes you better for the other nine. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's not that
Yeah,
but you just look back and you just be better because you
yeah,
just went through that. You got on the other side of that adversary and you're
yeah,
better for the others.
yeah.
So
Totally.
no reason to dread Monday. Again,
No,
the
not at all.
fact that the Joker was around, that confirmed that Batman was a hero. We could go through all of the Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Rocky, Apollo Creed. We could go through all of that, Ted. But the whole
Yeah,
point
yeah.
is that your adversary is necessary. If you maintain that perspective, you can say, "Thank God it's
Thank God
Monday."
it's Monday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of great Mondays and being thankful for Mondays, you have to watch us tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern on the 30-minute hour. We've got Liam Naden. He is coming all the way from England. He is a mind expert as far as how to use your brain effectively. And the theme of our show is going to be how to achieve your goals 100% of the time. I'm going to be
Wow.
hosting and taking notes at the same time
Absolutely. Absolutely.
because I need to know that. So don't forget to join us this evening at 6 o'clock Eastern on the 30-minute hour podcast, Ted.
You may also want to share about Saturday with Coffee and Conversations, and we'll be talking about some aspects around goals as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to talk about how do you set and achieve those big, hairy, audacious goals. They call it a BHAG. I think it came from Jim Collins out of his book, Good to Great. But people are so scared to set big goals, and people will tell you, "Oh, you've got to be realistic." So we're going to unpack that on Saturday at 10 o'clock on Coffee and Conversation. You don't
Man,
want to miss it.
we give you so much. We give you so
Exactly.
much.
Hey Ted,
We
we are the digital dudes.
That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. We're trying to help the people here.
So for that, you can go to the What Now Movement group, the Facebook group, and join if you're not in already, and check us out this coming Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Saturday, October 1st, 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank God it's Monday. That's our time for this week. Take care and have a great one.